Hi guys, this is ForwardFan66 and after a long while break I'm back with a small plane I stumbled over lately at our field. As you already saw in the title, it's a Rad Jet 800 from HobbyKing. A few of our pilots bought this plane during one of HobbyKing's latest flash sales for various purposes. Some wanted a small flyer for FPV and others just wanted a small little fun flyer. So I watched the others flying and was pretty impressed with the performance of this thing. And because it was pretty inexpensive, at least from my point of view, I decided to buy one myself. Basic assembly of the plane was straightforward and very easy, so I even found time to install a few extras. So it didn't take me very long before I found myself at the flying field ready for the maiden flight. The maiden flight was pretty easy because I could rely on the past experiences of my fellow pilots to set up the plane and the transmitter. As you will see in the video, I launched the plane without motor, which I would not recommend unless your plane is equipped with a gyro. I also programmed a special launch phase on my transmitter with a few extra clicks of elevator to prevent the plane from going into a nosedive. For a normal launch I would recommend about 60% throttle. The important thing is that you do it right into the wind. And of course, keep your hands away from the prop. Pusher planes can have a nasty bite when you're not careful. After a little bit of fine trimming, the plane flew very nicely. Still, it felt a bit weird to fly a plane without camo, which made me think about color options. A suitable camo scheme was quickly found, so I started with the base coat. Due to the more futuristic look of the plane, I chose a camo scheme which was used by the Luftwaffe in the late 70s. So here's a finished plane. The HobbyKing Rad Jet 800 in the color scheme of the Bundesluftwaffe 1979. So, and for the guys who didn't had enough yet, I edited a short flying video of the Rad Jet, so you can check out the plane in flight. And here just a few things I would like to clear up. This plane is uncharacteristically fast, at least compared to the planes I usually fly. Still, for a plane of this size, it is very stable during high speeds. And of course I know that different people have different ideas what fast means, but I would estimate that this plane, even with a standard motor, goes past 120 kph, and I consider that pretty fast. And for the guys who just started to think about 4S and bigger motors and faster props and stuff like that, please keep in mind that this plane has no wing spar whatsoever. So if you want to push this little bird about, like say, past 160, think about reinforcements first. Another good thing about this plane is that it can handle wind pretty well. Wind speeds of up to 30 kph are pretty well manageable. If you had enough practice at the sticks, of course. Considering the fact that this is a bit of a mix between a delta and a flying wing, stall characteristics are pretty tame, at least if you are in normal flight mode. High-speed turns with way too much elevator throw, on the other hand, can turn in a bit of a nasty situation if you're not high enough. With the standard motor installed, the 1500 milliamp 3S pack that I use gives me about 10 minutes of flight time, plus a good 2 minutes reserve. At least the way I fly, which is more or less half throttle most of the time, with a few high-speed passes mixed in. But I have to say I only use the 1500 milliamp packs because I use those on a lot of my other planes. The recommended battery for the Rad Jet 800 is an 850 milliamp battery, which is considerably lighter, of course. One other good thing about this plane is that it has a pretty good glide slope. Engine failure does not necessarily mean that you have to search your plane in the woods or something. If you're high enough, you can still bring it in for a good landing. So, this was it for today. And as always, if you have any questions about the video, the plane, or flying in general, please leave a comment below. Have fun at the flying field, guys. Fan66 out.